Disclaimer right up front before we even get into this video: if you are sensitive, particularly sensitive to gynecological or female medical issues or infertility issues or cancer or mental health things, any kind of medical subject, then this series and this video might not be for you. We're going to be discussing a lot of medical things in full detail, so that's up to you guys. Hey guys, it's Holly. So I'm back to tell you more about my weird, convoluted story. And if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, I would encourage you to first go back and watch the first two before you watch this one, because there's a lot of information that happened that led up to this point, and if you haven't been following and you just jump in, you might miss some things. But basic premise is I basically went on a 2.5 year struggle of weaning off of my meds, having a nervous breakdown, having infertility issues, and ultimately finding out I have cancer. So a little real-time update just to let you guys know. I don't know if some of you know this, but I am filming these while I'm at home healing from my cancer surgery, and I got my cath bag out today, so I'm very happy about that. 2 weeks after post-surgery, and I'm feeling much better. I feel better a little more every day, and you know, things are going great. And yeah, but these videos are also helping me to kind of get out some of the psychological trauma from the events that took place in the last 2 years. If you watch me, if you see me looking down, I did take notes. I've been taking notes for these now because there are points that I want to get across to make sure that you understand, you know, the importance, or I need to get the right names for things, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, so pretty much we are at the point where I'm in the middle of my nervous breakdown and I am waiting for my gynecological appointment. Just for some backup story here, I don't go to the gynecologist. I realize now how bad that is. I'm going to be a very avid supporter of going to the gynecologist yearly. I will never be in that mindset ever again after what happened to me. So when I was younger, I had abnormal pap smears, and sometimes they would be fine and sometimes they wouldn't be fine. And we had to deal with that for a while, and they wanted me to go pretty often, and just for a while I was just like, screw it, I don't need to go. Which was a really poor life judgment on my part, and thank God it wasn't, because I didn't go for a long time, this situation could have been worse than what it was, and I realized that. So, but I'll get into that. So I think it had been about 6 years since my last gynecological appointment, about 2013 maybe. So I'm waiting for this appointment. It's a new doctor, highly recommended to me, whatever, but it takes a long time. So I made the appointment in like May or June. I had to wait till September. So I'm having this mental breakdown. So September, I go to the gynecologist and we do the pap smear. I explained to her that I'm off my meds. I'm having a really rough time. They like you to wait a year normally before they run the infertility tests, but because I explained to her that, like, hey, I'm off my meds, I'm having a really bad nervous breakdown, I'd like to nip this in the bud, I need to get pregnant as quickly as possible. She was very accommodating. She sent in for all these tests. I had to get blood work, which I really don't need to explain to you. Everybody's had blood work done, I think. So I went and I got blood work. She checked my hormones, all that stuff. So then she sends me for an ultrasound. Now, me not having any children, not having any stomach issues, I've never had to have this done before. So I'm gonna explain this a little bit to you, just in case if you've never had it done. Pretty much, a technician takes a wand, sticks it up your vagina, and there's like a camera on it, and they can look at it in real time to make sure all your lady bits are working. I think they can do these for people that are having like gastro problems and stuff too. There's many reasons you can get it, but I was in there to check on my lady bits. So pretty much all of my testing for the fertility came back fine. Everything looked fine. Everything's great. My oven should work. My hormones were fine. Everything was fine. So fast forward to a couple of weeks after that, and I get a phone call, and she says, you had an abnormal pap smear, so we would like to do a biopsy on you. Now, I've had a biopsy done before. They're uncomfortable. I don't like them. I'm pretty sure it's part of the reason I stopped going to the gynecologist. Really, side note, it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being. Maybe it just hurt me more because I was younger and hadn't really dealt with life yet. I don't know, but I freaked myself out. So yeah, and I explained to you, like I said, that I've had a history of this. I've had to do this repeatedly before. This was just standard. Sometimes they don't even, which I'm told now, they don't even do a biopsy on it if it's just abnormal. But I'm very lucky in this case, according to my oncologist. She said, you know what, we're going to do a biopsy. It's been a while since you've had one. I know it just says abnormal. It shouldn't be cancer. Should be fine. Let's do it anyway. I said, okay. Yeah. So skip to Halloween the 31st. I went in for a biopsy. Now, a biopsy, if you don't know, they go in and instead of like a regular pap smear, they're literally like scraping stuff out of there. Like it hurt, like it's uncomfortable. You bleed. It's not fun. It's like a pap smear, but it hurts, basically. It's really uncomfortable. You get really bad cramps, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So I get that, and I'm basically just kind of waiting for the results at that point, while still in the midst of having my nervous breakdowns. But in my head, it was going to be fine. The doctor told me she thought it would be fine. It should just be fine. We just have to keep monitoring it like it was fine. But then it wasn't fine at all. So, but yeah, so I know this video isn't going to be very long. I wanted to talk a little more to you guys about the pelvic exam. So back on to the ultrasound a little bit. I know I didn't really explain as much as I wanted to. So it's just like a gynecological table. You lay on it. They have a wand. I was really nervous about somebody being like near my vagina, but she's like way over here with the wand over here. So like, like really, like for how skittish I am about stuff like that, it was really like no big deal. I think the overall thing, she was up, I mean, she examined me for maybe like 20-30 minutes. Really wasn't that long. It really wasn't that bad. This is where I want to take the time to explain to you how important going to your gynecologist and getting regular pap smears is. I am a very lucky case, as you're going to hear in the next story. In the next episode. If I had waited 6 years and this would have started any earlier, this could have been a way bigger of a thing. Could have taken my fertility entirely. Just go. Please go to the gynecologist. This is something I went through that I would never want anyone else to go through, and I would never want you to wait so long that you would be stuck infertile or lose your infertility because you just waited too long. So I can't. I'm very avid about this now for obvious reasons. Get to the gyno, get your pap smears on time. Yeah. So basically, I had a bunch of breakdowns, like I said in the previous video, and then I went in the midst of all that and got a bunch of tests. Now, like I said, up to this point, all of my fertility tests came out fine. I hadn't tested Ray yet. We were going to wait the year. So we were going to wait until the next February and then get Ray to go. But she wanted to start me on my tests early because obviously if there was something wrong with me and I couldn't carry a baby, we were just going to call it a day. I was going to get back on my meds. We were going to be done. But everything came back for me okay until I got that call. And it's got to be noted too that like this really like heightened my breakdown. So here I am in the middle of getting all of these infertility tests. We're not getting pregnant. My feelings are like not in check. I'm not on any of the medicines that help me. And I'm seeing, I mean, I don't necessarily know. I feel like maybe sometimes when you're sensitive to it, you see it more than you think that you do. But like everyone was pregnant. Everyone was pregnant. Everyone was happy with their babies. And it was just, I can't explain how awful of a feeling it is to see people get the things that you want so easily while you struggle. And I mean, in retrospect, you know that it's not anyone's fault. You know, for whatever reason, God gave me these issues, these problems, you know, to bear for whatever reason. But it was really hard. And like I said in my previous video, it was a really dark time in my life. So pretty much that was my mindset. That was where I was at. That's what I was doing. And everything, yeah, like I said, everything was pretty much fine until November 11th. And I got that horrible phone call. And my life has been completely insane ever since. This video is probably a lot shorter than my other videos, but that's kind of where I want to leave you. A big thank you to those who are following my story. I really appreciate you letting me tell it. I know I'm kind of rambly, and I don't always know when I sit down to film these where they're going to go to. I just kind of have a mindset. I just have a kind of a set direction of what each video needs to entail to tell it properly on a proper timeline, but really I'm kind of just rambling with some minor notes. So forgive me if this video comes off as a little ramblish and kind of everywhere, but I'm doing my best. It's been very therapeutic for me. I hope these videos reach somebody that it can really benefit and help. And yeah, so I love you guys, and we will talk about cancer and all the cancer related things in the next couple of videos. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.